What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And this morning, early morning, I decided to do a quick emergency video. I mean, it's not really a huge emergency, but I wanted to get this up here and show you the fruits of my labor from late last night, which this is going to come in handy now that we're seeing what's happening on the chart. So let's just jump right in. And this is definitely not financial advice. This is just my opinion and interpretation of the chart, and I'm just trying to be helpful, okay, to give everybody an idea of what could possibly be going on. That's all, because I'm a bag holder. You're probably a bag holder or looking to buy this project if you're watching this video. All right, so in the last couple of videos, we were talking about the downtrend, and I had to throw together a new downtrending line, a base line right here. The first one was this line that is now real light. The second one after it was broken was this one, which is now very light. And now we're into the third one. I didn't expect this to happen this quickly, but we have broken support of the third descending line that is based on the rejection after we plowed through it here in the beginning, because it was previously support. You'll see why in just a little bit. And then we broke it, so it turns into support here because it blew through the line. So when we come back down, we touch it and it's support. It bounces up. We hit the top of this range again, we come down, and this time it has failed. Now, where we're going from here, it looks like quite a bit lower because the stochastic is wide open, all right? Whenever you see the stochastic wide open like this right after a reversal, you can expect a kind of nice drop to continue. And in addition to that, the MACD is very bearish. And we notice that the oscillators are kind of moving away from each other. See, they ran in parallel here, and then they move away from each other, then they move toward each other. Well, now they're moving away again. So that is why we see this kind of somewhat capitulation move. So what happens at this point? Well, the only bit of evidence that I can find that gives us a clue as to what the next stopping point could be, like where is it going to put on the brakes and halt this train here that is quickly about to crash. Well, actually, I think it is right here at this blue line. And that just happens to be at a price of 0.00125-ish, somewhere around there. And this is a rough estimate, and I'm not saying that this is definitely going to happen, that it'll be support here. I'm just saying that there's a 50-50 shot that if we go down that low, and it might not even go down that low, that this might be a support, and then we might crawl back up to the downward sloping trend line. Let me just extend this line just a little bit. So let's just say if it crawls back to this line, we may see something like this happen where then it can become support again. Now, how did I get that baseline? Well, that's what I want to show you. I stayed up till 1 a.m. last night doing quite a bit of work to create some prehistory to this graph so I can give you guys an idea of the big picture with the good TradingView chart and not just the CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap charts. So I'm going to scrunch this down. This is all I've been reporting on, just this action on the 4-hour chart since October the 3rd. But now I have gone back and forth between the CoinGecko chart and this chart, and I've plotted data points, rough data points, to get an idea of what this thing looks like, this action here, in comparison to where we've been. And this is what I came up with, and it's very interesting. I'm going to have to scrunch it down here so you can see this high point. I do have that high point at 0.005 that is in there. And if we scrunch down even further, we can take it back. And you'll notice here I've got these dates that are put in. I just basically I extrapolated the date ranges 1 week at a time, all right? And I go all the way back to 7/29 when the price was 0.0005. And by looking at that chart and noticing where the bumps, and there's like little action squigglies in there, and then you get here, there's some squigglies in there. And that means that there was fighting going on at this data point, at this data point, at this data point, that turns it into support resistance lines. So where we started, there's squiggliness here. And then beyond that point, this is where the first bump up came. Like it came up from here. This is where it came out of just nowhere. Okay, that was your first bump that creates this support resistance line at the rock bottom at point 0005 to maybe 00055. And then you had that next little wiggle where it was jumping up and down at around point 0006. And then the next wiggling around where it took a breather, was at about 0.0008. The next one, slight pause at 0.00126. And then you had the peak right here at 0.0036. And it came down, went back up, corrected, and then you made this big triangle. All right, let's put in this triangle here. This is when I started to TA this thing. And it's when I made my first purchasing decision. So when it started to do this, that's when I bought somewhere. My first bag was like somewhere right around here. And sure enough, it did break out of this triangle. It made a bull flag here. Here was the flag, just like that. And it broke out to the top side. And then we got out here and we had a bear flag. I can't even remember where it is, but you can't see it with my rough approximate, drawing here. But this is where I knew after this point that once we had that steep drop and we started to create lower highs, I knew that this was time for the correction mode and for a swing channel change from a bearish channel from a bullish channel to a bearish channel. Now, the reason why I plotted all these points and drew this whole thing up was so that we would have a worst case scenario guide. Now, I'm not saying that we're just going to fall off here, but I'm a bag holder and I want to know what's in the cards, what's in the future. I want to know what's possible in a worst case scenario, because we are in a bear market. Bitcoin could take a punch to the face. In fact, it's taking a punch to the face right now because it is at 18,775. So now we're below 19,000. So this could be where a lot of our alts really start to bleed. And so since that is the case, and since we are dropping this nasty red candle coming straight off, just hanging vertical off of the downward sloping trend line, we need to know what are the possible catch points. They come from previous support and resistance zones. So I have put this together for all of you, and each blue line corresponds to this activity over here where we know that there was support and resistance on the way up. Because in my experience, if you get little jiggles of support on the way up, they're going to become resistance or boundary lines on the way down. A boundary line meaning this is as far as it'll go. It'll still be support, or it'll break support or bounce around on a support line, fail it, go to the next one, bounce around, fail it, so on and so forth. So now that we have extended those lines from those previous support resistance points, if we just continue to plummet, we can look at these levels of 0.00125, 0.0008, and then if it gets really nasty, we can look at 0.0006 and 0.00055. So as we kind of float down, I might just be buying a bag like right now, and that's not financial advice. We're close enough. I don't want to miss out on getting some cheap KASPA, but here's the concept. This is a DCA point. And if it continues to fall and looks nasty, this is a DCA point. This is a DCA point. This is a DCA point. Now, what is DCA? That stands for dollar cost average. So if the price line just continues to, do stuff like this, okay, the little circles is where you could have support, but then if that support breaks, you go down to the next one, well, that's a buying point of possible support. But if it breaks, you go to the next one. And then this is the last one. I don't see it going below that, but it can happen. I mean, I don't see it, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible, okay? But this is maybe a possible scenario coming out of a bear market bottom back to this huge volume node cluster that we have up here above from this trading action that has happened since the peak. Now, let me know in the comments if this was helpful to you. And I am very excited to see some of the KASPA Telegram group coming on board to the channel.
Woo!
I think I've had some people from the TikTok and over here making posts of my videos over in the KASPA Telegram group. Maybe I'll have to pop in myself and visit. So glad to meet you guys and gals. Hopefully this is helpful, and let me know if this type of TA, if this kind of gives you hope and is a light shining in the forest, so to say. And anyhow, I would absolutely love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you feel so motivated, you can donate and help cover the costs that are kicking me in the teeth for producing this channel. I spend several $100s a month on internet, on licensing fees, software, and all kinds of stuff to make these videos. And I appreciate all of my supporters who have donated to the cause to help me to continue to do this until we all get rich from our bags that blow up in the next bull market. So that's all I've got for now. Stay tuned, and I will see you on the next one. I'm out.